The night was dark and cold in Lexington. A single lantern flickered in the distance. Horses' hooves echoed against the cobblestone streets. The air was tense, filled with whispers of rebellion. Patriots gathered quietly, clutching muskets. British soldiers advanced in perfect lines. The tension was unbearable, as if the world held its breath. An old clock struck midnight. Suddenly, a shot rang out. The first blood of the American Revolution was spilled. Farmers and townsfolk froze in horror. The world would never be the same again. This was the moment history shifted forever. The shot heard round the world had begun. It was April 19, 1775. The town of Lexington was small but determined. People whispered about freedom from British rule. The colonists were tired of taxes and laws imposed from afar. They wanted to govern themselves. Word had spread that British troops were coming. The militia prepared quietly, without fanfare. Men from farms, shops, and taverns took up arms. Their leader, Captain John Parker, gave orders calmly. "Stand your ground, but do not fire unless fired upon." The colonists were brave, yet untrained in battle. Across the fields, redcoats marched in formation. Their polished boots gleamed under the moonlight. The soldiers carried heavy muskets, ready for conflict. Their commander was confident of victory. He believed the rebellion would end quickly. But the colonists were determined to resist. Families watched from windows, holding their breath. Young boys hid behind barrels, clutching wooden swords. The smell of gunpowder filled the air. Both sides stared at each other, tense and ready. Then, in an instant, a musket discharged. Chaos erupted among the militia. Some men fell to the ground. Others fired back, trembling with fear. Smoke swirled across the battlefield. Horses reared, frightened by the noise. Captain Parker shouted orders amidst the chaos. "Hold the line, protect your town." British soldiers pushed forward relentlessly. The colonists began a strategic retreat. They scattered through the trees and fields. Some aimed from behind fences and walls. Each shot struck with purpose and desperation. The sound of musket fire echoed across the countryside. Nearby townspeople rushed to warn Concord. "The British are coming. The British are coming." The message spread like wildfire. Patriots in Concord prepared for the inevitable battle. They moved cannons and supplies quickly. British troops reached Concord with full force. They began searching homes and arsenals. The colonists were ready for them. Minutemen appeared from hidden positions. The first volleys rang out in Concord's open fields. Farmers turned into soldiers overnight. Every stone wall became a shield. Every tree hid a rifleman. The British were unprepared for such resistance. Their disciplined formations broke under unexpected fire. Confusion spread among the redcoats. Some tried to regroup, others panicked. Colonists pressed their advantage. Their knowledge of the land gave them the edge. They struck quickly, then vanished into the woods. Guerrilla tactics became their weapon of choice. British soldiers retreated towards Boston. The path back was lined with sharpshooters. Fear replaced their confidence. Each mile was a struggle, a fight for survival. Patriots celebrated small victories along the way. News of the battle spread through towns and cities. People began to believe independence was possible. Committees of correspondence grew stronger. Leaders met in secret to plan the next steps. Samuel Adams and John Hancock emerged as key figures. Colonists realized unity was their greatest weapon. British officers underestimated the spirit of the people. Every encounter fueled the fire of revolution. Ordinary citizens became heroes overnight. Families contributed supplies, food, and information. The idea of freedom became tangible and powerful. Messages and pamphlets circulated, inspiring hope. Each town prepared its militia for the long struggle ahead. The battles were not just about land, but ideals. Liberty, justice, and self-governance were at stake. From Lexington to Concord, courage defined the people. The first battle was small in scale, but monumental in meaning. It sparked resistance across all 13 colonies. Farmers, merchants, and tradesmen all joined the cause. British troops returned to Boston, weary and shaken. Colonists celebrated their defiance quietly, cautiously. They knew this was only the beginning. Messages of rebellion reached towns far away. Patriots began stockpiling weapons and training soldiers. Each day, the movement gained strength and momentum. The world began to take notice of the events unfolding. New ships carried the story across the Atlantic. In Europe, people debated the courage of the colonies. The seeds of revolution were planted firmly. This first battle set the tone for future conflicts. Leaders learned the importance of strategy and preparation. Ordinary men understood the power of unity. Courage was no longer confined to the battlefield. Words and ideas became weapons of their own. Patriots inspired each other to persevere. The British underestimated the determination of the people. Colonists proved that freedom was worth any risk. From that day forward, nothing would be the same. The spark of revolution spread like wildfire across the land. Battles, victories, and sacrifices would follow. But the courage shown at Lexington and Concord remained legendary. Ordinary citizens became the heart of a movement. Their actions echoed through history forever. The shot heard round the world had ignited a revolution, and the fight for independence had just begun. The American Revolution was now unstoppable. Patriots learned that courage can topple empires. The world watched as colonies claimed their voice. Lexington and Concord were small towns with huge impact. Ordinary men changed the course of history. The fight for liberty inspired generations to come. Freedom was no longer a distant dream. Every shot fired carried the hopes of a nation. From the first battle, a new identity emerged. A nation built on courage and determination was born. The world would never forget the brave souls of 1775. They proved that even small acts of defiance matter. History remembers those who dared to rise. The shot heard round the world echoes to this day.